It doesn't matter if you're blocking on the inside of the arm or the outside of the arm or on top or underneath, or if it's his arm or if it's his leg, or if you're blocking his left or his right, or if his attack is straight or if it's circular. For every one of the positions that we might end up in after one of these blocks, there is an Ed Parker technique that corresponds to it and teaches us the most effective counter that we should internalize. What the problem is a lot of times is not the block, but what happens right after the block, right? We're going to go through a series of different positions that we might find ourselves in after the first block. That's really the thing that we have to address, right? So I throw a right punch, right? So it might be, if I'm on the inside of the punch now, I'm basically in like a five swords position, right? Had I been on the outside of that punch, I would have been in an attacking mace position, the second half of attacking mace. And of course, there are some other more advanced techniques that fit there also. I'm starting at the bottom of the belt levels. The techniques that you know the best, or should know the best, because you've done them for the longest, right? He does a left punch, right? And maybe I'm going to be on the outside. I thought I was going to be on the inside, but I'm here. So now, again, I can do attacking mace, for example, or that could have also right there led into reversing mace, right? And whatever corresponds to that at the higher belt levels, right? Had he done the roundhouse punch right there, the probably shielding hammer, right? Or it could have been the fatal deviation, just the second part of that, I could have gone right into that, for example, right? And if he does a right uppercut in this position, right, and now I'm remaining claw, right? If he does a left uppercut, now I'm in glancing wing, right? If he does kicks, now it's a little bit more complex, because if he throws a right straight kick at me, right, I'm essentially like in a buckling branch position, or deflecting hammer, or retreating pendulum, or hugging pendulum, right? Had to use the exact same leg, but I was blocked on the inside. That can happen sometimes. I can be on this side, right? And now I have to also worry about the height of his kick. In other words, right here with him, I have both arms up, and you guys would too, right? If you're here and you see the leg coming at you, you're gonna have your universal block just in case, because you don't yet know, is that a low kick or is that a roundhouse kick to my head? Right? And so because of that, we got both arms up, and if it's just a low kick like he did, I get several opportunities or several techniques that tell me what to do. Every one of these blocking positions has an Ed Parker technique that corresponds to it. So this one right here, where I was just making this a rear arm, ooh, good move, do that again. Where I make this a rear arm block, right? That would basically be detour from doom. I did not have to go up with my rear arm was more equipped to block it, because how's my front arm going to block that? Right? If it's a low kick, my front arm, the responsibility that my front arm has is to protect my upper zone right here, right? So right now, it has no business dropping, right? So here that would have been a perfect position, like if you kick, right, to go to right from there, detour from doom, right? Had he kicked higher, then I would have had to engage my other arm, which now means, okay, that's going to be either swinging pendulum or deceptive panther. Thank you very much. So swinging pendulum, if he maintains a high position of his leg, and let's say you double kick like a taekwondo guy, right? Then that means, okay, bam, that's the best target I can get to, right? But if you kick and drop your leg right away, then I'm not going to go to this hammer fist to the groin. I'm much better off going to the deceptive panther by going eventually kicking out that other leg, right? But then also what can happen, still with the same kick, same block, because it's kicks, there's going to be more footwork involved, right? So that means if you do the low kick again, well, I opted to go, let's say, detour from doom, right? Well, it might not be detour from doom, because I might feel pressured because of distance to step back. That doesn't mean I'm going to block differently. It means I'm stepping differently. In other words, instead of doing this, right here, I'm going here, I'm now doing this. Oh, all right? All that changed is my foot went back. The kind of thing that you would do without even thinking. Right? If you're just thinking, let me protect myself, if the block is easy, right? And then, whoa, okay, and here I've decided to step back. That puts me into the thrusting salute position. Right? One of the techniques I can do is thrusting salute. So as you kick right here, so I might go, whoa, right here, thrusting salute, it's really nice, right? But I could have also went from the same position. I could have went from here and went to pensive cross. That fits as well, right? And then I go, well, what if he kicks high now? Right, that also is a possibility. I thought it was a low kick. I stepped back and whoa, it's high. So now my rear arm has to be blocking again, right? Do we have a technique for that? You're correct. Reversing circles, right? So I can do reversing circles. And I'm here, I'm stepping back this way, bam, reversing circles actually deals with that. Doesn't matter if he throws a punch afterwards. So I could, of course, block for this one and strike. Or if he doesn't throw a punch, doesn't matter. I was here, and I went, bam, there's a palm strike right there, waiting for that, right? So it doesn't matter what he throws at me. There is a Ed Parker technique that corresponds to that. And each time we're being shown, well, what's the best counter? What's the best thing I can strike backwards right now? So, and the way to do it is to work just the block and the first counter. Throw a punch with your right. Okay, with it. All right, so here's a block. All right, throw a different punch, same arm. All right, okay, right here. Right, throw something with the other arm. All right, so okay, right here. Throw something else with that arm. Okay, here. All right. How about some uppercuts? Uppercut. Okay, right here. All right, do the same uppercut again. All right, right here would be even better. All right, so the other uppercut. So I'm here. All right. Now you do a right front kick. All right, and I'm here. All right. Or throw the right front kick again. I might end up here. All right. Or throw that kick higher, like a roundhouse kick. Now I got to block it with my right arm involved more. All right. Keep that leg up for a moment. Right. Now I have a different situation. Then drop the leg right away. Then right here. Right. Ooh, bam, I kick that out. Right. So all these different things. So you can think of this like a little bit like point fighting. You're trying to just get your first counter in. You're trying to, make your strike work while you're nullifying your opponent's strike, right? But it is with street attacks, not with point fighting attacks anymore, right? So we're going to do a series of short drills. Each one of them trying to find some relationships between these different reactions, because that's kind of the key. By looking at the relationships between these different reactions, you are learning when to use one and when not to use one. You're learning where does this technique belong. Right? So we're going to start actually right now with a right roundhouse punch. Right? So it's like 5 swords right here. Right? Versus a right straight punch. I'm going to be on the outside right here for attacking mix. Let's just start with that. And it's, again, only up to the first counter. Do the right front low kick. Right? If I'm staying over here, then it's going to be detour from doom, so I don't have to think much. So I can go right to there. If I step back with it, all right, then it's going to be from here thrusting salute. Right? I should have that already in my brain. That should be natural for me. But that takes a long time or a while to get natural with.